And action.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
Hey everybody, welcome. Hey everybody, welcome back to Thanks for Asking. It's when we steal some questions or we make them up and we ask it to each other, and you watch it and we answer it. I already. I'm really shook from that. Cool.
Beautiful. Anyway.
I'm crying.
Okay.
So today's question
Uh-huh.
is a question that I
Uh-huh.
made up.
Uh-huh.
And it's if you could go back or and live in any decade, like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s,
Uh-huh.
blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
in the past, not the future,
Okay.
where would you go and why?
Uh,
I feel like we might have the same answer for this one.
I mean, like, I could probably pick different things for different reasons. You know what? I like,
That might be fun.
um,
Do your top pick and then we can talk about each.
okay, my top pick would be the 70s. Mostly because
That's my answer too.
I really want to, like, end up at the same party that a lot of my parents and their friends were at and see
Oh
what they
my
were like
God.
at that point. Because I know my parents were, like, my parents and their siblings and their friends, like, were pretty wild at some point. And, like, I just think it would be so cool to be, like, casually at the same event as them and be like, oh my god, what are they doing?
That's so funny.
Yeah, just, like, hang out downtown Toronto at the Hard Rock at some point in the 70s and my parents will probably show up.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I think that's my number one choice. I mean,
Yeah.
also, it's, like, there were cheap concerts and good music and like, free love. I don't know, whatever.
Free love,
It just seemed like an
baby.
interesting time. But mostly just for selfish reasons. Like, I want to go see what my Uncle Scott was doing, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was like more like the music and the blah and the blah and the scene.
And the scene.
But yeah, like I would say 70s, tail end of 60s for me.
Yeah.
Some cool ass shit go down.
Yeah. How 70s? You know what? I mean, like, late
60s, are you saying?
late 70s, early 80s would be, like, the prime time for, like, my...
Your parents wild out?
Yeah. Because I was, like, trying to think of, like, how old they were at that point. I mean, 70s would be cool, too. I mean, like...
70s is pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Whoa.
Anytime before cell phones. Because then you just kind of have to get lost and figure out your own shit, and you can't, like,
Figure your
rely
life
on
out.
the internet telling you answers. I mean, not, like, slighting anything. I fucking love the internet, and I use my phone for a lot of things, and it's very helpful, and I wouldn't be doing what I am right now if it didn't happen. But, like, it would be cool to have, like, a couple days of, like, okay, I can't just Google this place. I have to figure it out on my own, you know?
Yeah. Things were more spontaneous and adventurous
Yeah.
without phones.
Yeah.
You're not like yelping everywhere. You're just like, let's just go. Like,
Yeah.
let's just...
Let's just yellow pages it and figure out where we're going and hit it up, you know? It'd be good. Okay, now, is there a point in the future you'd want to see?
Honestly, the future scares me.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know, like, I feel like, okay, so is it, like, go to the future and live in the future, or go to the future with the knowledge you have now, see it, and then come back?
I feel like both of these cases, I much prefer if it's just, like, take a weekend trip to a different point in time and then come back.
See, but then that would fuck with me, because then you see, like, if you go in the future, you're gonna see, like, something, or know something big, like, let's say, political,
Right.
geo, whatever. You're like, you see something big, you come back and you can't do anything about it, you just have to live with that knowledge. Like, what if it's, like, something stupid? And what if it's, like, Donald Trump dies on this day? Like, what are you gonna do? Just, like, know that?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
That
That'd
was
be
a
cool
weird
information
example.
to have, though.
I don't know, I feel like the future, I very much like to live in blissful ignorance.
Okay. That's fair.
So, like, I feel like knowing, or what if it's something, like, personal about your family? Like, you see something happen.
See, but
and then
that's
you
why
hear
I,
something
like,
happen.
if I wanted to go into the future, I'd be like, okay, let me go see New York City in, like, 2075, you know? Like, see
Just
something.
see what it looks like?
Yeah, you know, like, see what's going on at that point. Because, I mean, if you have to pick a specific time, I'd want it, like, far enough in the future that, like, and somewhere that
That
I'm
you're
not
dead.
gonna, I mean, maybe that I'm dead, or that I'm not gonna, like, bump into anyone that would be like, This is weird. I mean,
Yeah.
like, ideally, I'd want to see how and when the world ends, but I can't pinpoint that.
See,
so.
I'm so the opposite of
Dude,
you.
I feel like if like the human race got annihilated by like a sun flare or whatever, I'd want to be there to see it, and then right before it happens, I like go back and live my own life, you know? But that could be like 1,000 years from now. It could be 50 years from now. We have no
We're
idea.
so opposite. Holy shit! I would wake up every night in a nightmare with anxiety because I'd be like, "It's gonna happen." Wow.
I don't know. The way
I'm
I see it, it's
Tuscans.
like if you know when it happens, then it's like, okay, well, I got a good 100 years to kill, so let me just enjoy myself. Okay.
So, like, would you rather go to the future or the past if you could choose?
I feel like I'd probably go to the past. Just because, like, the future's so uncertain, and, like, if like, realistically there's a time machine that would take me there, you can't enter when the world ends into a time machine. You'd have to, like, know when you want to go visit, right? So it's easier to, like, have a point in time in the past to know when you'd want to see.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to go in the future and, like, see a secret about my own life. I want to live my own life the way it happens. I don't need to know anything about the future in that regard. But, like, about the world as a whole or about, like, someone else, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely just want to go to the past.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you go back in the past and, like, do something, it can alter the future?
I mean, probably, but, like, it depends on what timeline. Like, if I went into the past and visited, like, China in the 80s and I did something, it would definitely
your life.
it probably wouldn't affect like my specific life, but it would definitely affect something for like 1,000 other people's lives. Like there's 7 billion different stories going on right now. It's like clearly some of them are going to change, but like you don't know what.
But if you,
ones.
let's say, went into the past, went to, like, the Hard Rock,
Uh-huh.
saw your parents
Yeah.
before you were, like, a twinkle in their eye.
Okay.
And, like, let's say you, like, went to a party, you met them, you spoke with them, you hung out.
I don't think I would speak with them.
No?
I feel like I couldn't, because that would be too weird. Like, I look like my dad, you know? Like, there would be something fishy. It would be like,
They'd be like, are you my cousin?
yeah. Like, have we met before? Yeah, I definitely wouldn't speak
What if
with
they
them.
came
I
up
would
to
just,
you
like,
and spoke
sit
to
at a
you?
different table. That would be weird.
What would you do in that situation?
Be
like, fuck,
hope that
gotta
my,
go.
hope that my improv skills are good enough to, like, throw them off guard, you know?
I'm kind of eating this blanket. Hey.
I don't know why he's so obsessed with us, but...
He's so obsessed with it. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think the past is cooler. I mean, obviously, the past had its shit, okay? I'm not saying racism is cool.
I know.
Or war. So me choosing, like, the 60s or the 70s doesn't mean I'm, like, fucking with the Vietnam War.
But if I
that's
could go
shit,
see
that's fucked.
Genesis play Maple Leaf Gardens in, like, 1983, I would be there.
If I could be here for Mick Jagger's arrest
Oh.
and witness that, that'd be kind of cool.
I know, that would be cool.
Yeah, dude. Like, the tickets to shows were so cheap. I mean, I guess they're cheap by our standard today.
Yeah, my mom used to have a bunch of, I don't know if she still has them or not, but she had a bunch of ticket stubs that were all like
$5.
$6.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
that's insane.
If you had to choose one place not to visit, but to go and then live your life in that decade, would you still
Ooh.
choose the same one?
I probably would. I feel like the 70s or like late 70s, early 80s is like safe enough because it's like things weren't too different
Yeah.
besides like technology, you know? Yeah, it's like everything else was like very, very similar as it is now. Like even the social environment, people want to think that things have changed, but they haven't.
Yeah, not much at least.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one, here's another one. If you had to choose an event in the past to go to.
Would it be really gross and white girl of me to say Woodstock? I mean,
Fuck, dude.
it had to be coming, right?
Woodstock. Oh,
My mom actually has a friend who went. He was like 15 or something at the time, but him and a bunch of pals like took a road trip and went.
I would have loved to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, it is very basic and whatever, but, like, think about what it was and what it stood for and, like, what they accomplished there
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And all the fucking Jimi Hendrix, dude.
I know. I mean, if you went, there's no chance you'd be able to get close enough to the stage to
Oh,
actually
no.
see any of the artists perform, but, like, it's kind of, once again, just the environment of being there, you know?
It was, like, its own community, basically.
Yeah.
It's, like, it's not, like, a festival in today's standard where it's like you're there to see the acts, you're there to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You're there to like hang out with like-minded people and like do some drugs.
Okay, now here's a similar, I guess, question. If you could go back to a point in your own life,
Oh fuck.
what would it be? Like, whether it's to, like, give yourself advice or just relive it or, like, change a situation.
I've thought about it before. It's like with things that I could have changed in regards to like, you know, other people I know's lives that, you know, where something might have went wrong.
Yeah.
Is there something like there's something I could do, like warn someone or something like that. But
Yeah.
honestly, I think, and it's gonna sound kind of, there's nothing I would want to change. Because, first of all, for my own life, I'm the way that I am because of those things that happened.
Yeah, everything is, like,
So
happened
it's
in
like,
order
you
for a
know,
reason.
things definitely could have gone better, but who am I to, like, be like, well, hey, you, don't do that. Fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
What is your life without fucking up?
Yeah.
It's boring. And for, like, in regards to, like, another person's life, it's like, that's their own decisions that they made. And unfortunately, I have no control over that. It sucks for me and for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But I'm, like, being very, like, I'm not being very eloquent about this. It's just, like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you? Is there anything you would want to... I would never even, like, warn myself about. Like, what did I do that's worth a warning?
I don't know. Mine is, like... It's, like, it's kind of surface level, but I think that's good because it's not like it really would change anything, like an outcome of anything. When I did show choir in grade 10, we went to, like, Show Choir Canada, which was this big, like, all the people in Ontario. I mean, it was supposed to be all of Canada, but it was really only all of Ontario. It was, like, all these high schools groups, like, competed against each other and whatever. And, we were, like, getting ready to go on, and I think we had 4 songs, and one of them was Living on a Prayer, and there were 2 solos in that song, and it was, like, a guy and a girl who were gonna do it, and the guy got really sick that morning, so he didn't want to do his solo, because he was like, I'm not gonna be able to sing it properly, like, the notes are really high, I can't do it, so they were trying to find someone else to do it, and one of the girls in the group, like, legitimately nominated me because I knew the part and I could sing it and whatever, but I was, like, shitting my pants nervous just to be, like, backstage, like, dancing and whatever, that I was like, I can't do a solo. And then as soon as we went out on stage and started doing it, and the other girl did the solo that I could have done, I was, like, kicking myself immediately because I was like, what did I have to lose? I could have just gone up there and enjoyed myself and sang and, like, had a good time. And that's, like, really, I don't regret much because, like you said, things happen and you deal with them and you move forward. But that's, like, really the only thing in my life that I really regret not taking that solo when I could have, because I think it would have been such a good experience to, like,
Yeah.
sing on stage at the Sony Center, you know?
Holy shit, the Sony Center.
I know.
She bougie.
It's like, if I could go back and change anything, that's literally the one thing I would change.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of, like, us losing. Like, it wouldn't have changed literally anything except for the fact that I could have...
But it's a self-confidence thing, and it's, like, a self-growth thing.
Yeah.
So that's actually a cool one. I never did anything like that, performances or anything, so I can't be like, I wish I...
I did so many. And, like, I mean, I had solos and did cool shit at, like, other performances and stuff, but they were all, like, school ones, and that was the only time we ever did nationals when I was in it, and it was, like, if I had known that I wouldn't have had that opportunity again, I probably would have done it, but at the time, I was like, I can't! So, yeah.
What would you want to relive? Did you think about that? That was part of your question. I don't know if there's anything I would want to, like, go back and, like, highlight reel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've done that's been really fun. But, like, knowing what I know now and knowing what I know about some people that I used to be friends with, a lot of the things that I'd like to...
They're tainted a little.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I had a really good time camping that one time, but I wouldn't want to be there with 3 of those people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about advice to your past self? People have some, like, really emotional shit to say when they get asked this question at the end of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Like what?
there's things about bullying. And, I mean, I guess
Aw.
it's like sexuality and like stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that, but-
true.
which fair, like they're going through their own stuff. But for me, like, I don't know, stop fucking caring what other people think. I guess
Yeah.
that was my biggest thing,
Yeah.
and then I stopped caring, and now I have only a few friends, but I'm pretty happy.
Oh, that's good.
I'm a weirdo, and that's my. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. You ever see me take this hat off? Anyways.
I feel like caring about what people think of you is kind of part of growing up. So, like, I
Yeah.
don't really mind it that much. Of course, I, like, had not good times as a kid and, like, got bullied and whatever. But, like, for the most part, I'd want to go back to, like, me being 12 or 13 and just straight up say, like, hey, don't be rude. Because, like, I can remember some shit that I did that was, like, really, really not nice. And at the
Really?
time, I mean, like, I didn't do anything, like, horribly life-changing, but it's like,
No.
there's some stuff I said that I could have not said. And at this point, if I had this brain at that time, I for sure wouldn't have said those things. But it's like, when you're a kid, you don't realize the repercussions, and you're like, you're stupid. And it's like, okay, you don't have to be mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely have had points that I was, like, unnecessarily mean to some people. And, yeah, wish I wasn't. Yep.
Yep.
It happens.
Solo time. Thank you.
Okay, great. And on that note,
Thanks for asking.
okay.